sturdy handle, and one that is sharp. Sharp tools are always very necessary. Keep that in mind. Sharp tools are effective for those that you don't have to do as much work if your tools are properly maintained. We do have a knife sharpener at the nursery now every week until I think the second week in June. It's the same guy that sharpens the stuff at Sunflower, and he is good. I tell you, I take my pruners to him every week because sharp pair of pruners is, oh, it's so nice to use. And it makes things so much easier. You just gotta watch where your fingers are. Another kneeling tool to watch for those knees. It's very nice and cushy. I do use this often but I try to use handle tools because I don't like being down like this all the time, and if I do, I'll use my stand-up because my knees stick, unfortunately. Which I probably should get maintenance stand. They won't stick yourself. Hand rakes. These have been the most phenomenal tools, or phenomenal things since sliced bread. I tell you, these are so effective for picking up the nice big things of leaves or grass clippings, whatever. You have two of them, you put your hands in there, and you can couple them together and just throw it in your garbage can. Very, very effective. And they come in nice, fancy colors, too. And they're pretty inexpensive. They're only $7 for the pair. Now, we do have a whole line of those, what they call ergonomically correct tools. And I have found some of them are just great. I love the way they feel in my hand. I love how sturdy they are. They're just fantastic tools. A little bit on the heavy side because they use quite a durable steel. It's not a cheap, flimsy, weak steel by any means. But again, taller handles. Most of the forks will be flat, and they have that flat little handle. This one's very grip friendly. It does have a little bit of weight to it, but again, it's a very effective tool. And I did bring a couple of little hand tools. These are the ones that I really like in the hands. A nice de-weeder with a little bit of leverage. If you are down there getting the dandelions out, this is a very effective one. And this one just for digging in your little flower pots or planting little annuals. But I'll pass them around so you guys can feel how they feel in your hand. Somebody mentioned they wanted to talk about organic fertilizers.
Can I get you to show you that one thing again?
Oh, this one?
Yes, because I want to put it on my blog. I didn't get that on there.
You can sit like this, which is nice, but you can flip it over and do this number. That's it. If you want to give it a try, please do so. They're just little. It's a good little bench. It's quite sturdy. Yeah, it's awesome.
Okay, yeah.
It's like the little ones you can buy, the little foam pads that you
A lot of times you get down on the ground and you go, oh.
Yeah. How do I get back up? Well, just make sure it's on this side and getting back up. Half is hard just because you're already. You've got that.
You got something to put your hands on.
Give it a try if you like. Organic fertilizers. I'm a big gardener. I like to do veggie gardens, and I do them in containers and I do them in the ground. And this year I decided to do both for some reason because I have all this extra time on my hands. But when you do have the vegetables, I'd like to stick with the organic stuff because I know what I'm consuming.
Yeah.
And they're a little bit more readily available to the plants as well. So I stay organic as much as I can. And I brought some of my favorite organic fertilizers. This one here is called Root Rally. It's put out by Angel. This is mycorrhiza. Mycorrhiza is a natural occurring fungus in our soil that the plant, it lacks around here with our heavy clay soils. This will encourage a fantastic root system. Hence, you have the fantastic root system, you'll have the fantastic vigorous plant. I've seen many experiments done with this stuff, and the experiments that had the ones that had that used this, the roots on them were phenomenal, and the plant tops were so vigorous. It was quite amazing. You can use them on trees, shrubs. I threw a this in my veggie garden just because I want very vigorous plants since we're on a shorter growing season.
On trees, you just spread it around the base.
Actually, the more, it's not for established plants, unfortunately. It is for new ones.
New, okay.
Yeah, and the more of this the roots touch, the better off it'll get
It's
working.
not gonna burn the roots.
Not at all.
So that's good for like new lilac bush and.
Oh yeah, if you're planting a new lilac, you bet. Get some root rally in there, and that lilac will take off like that. You'll notice a difference, and if you did not use the root rally. I mean, you can use a lot of the organic fertilizers we have now all have mycorrhizae in it, especially if you stick with two main brands. You find one you like and stick with it. These are the ones that I have had really good success with. So these are the ones I use. This in my I tilled my whole garden, and then I dumped all of this in the whole garden and kind of worked it in the soil again. And it has mycorrhizae in it as well. It's a real good initial oomph for those plants to get going. Happy Frog, there's many, it's out by Fox Farm. There's many things by Fox Farm. The other one is Peace of Mind. They have fertilizers for just about everything. They have rose food, they have bulb food, azalea rhododendron food. If you have to acidify that soil, very effective on that. Tomatoes, vegetables, there's all, I mean, you can break it down.
After established or when you find?
Both.
Both.
Yep. This one's effective. They have instructions on there for your row planting or your established plants. Working anything into that soil is just very helpful. And this one's a 5-5-5, which is just kind of all-purpose. You can use it on anything and everything and get the same results. Well, as you do that, as your season goes on, the other ones I like to use are kelp. Kelp's a very low numbered fertilizer. You can use it often, more often than you can some other fertilizers. And what I do with this is I usually do more of a foliar spray on the plants, and then it's absorbed through the leaves. And then as well, water it in, but it helps prevent the bugs and things like that. So it's a really effective one, and that's age-old kelp. When I want my plants to start blooming and fruiting and doing their thing, I throw on age-old bloom, which is a 5-10-5. And again, you can use it more often, and you just follow instructions because it has ingredient or specific instructions for specific plants on it. You can use it on everything though. And it's highly effective. It really is a good one. Age-old bloom, age-old kelp, and peace of mind. If you can remember those guys, you'll have a very, very fruitful garden. The harvest I had last year was pretty amazing. I did a lot of the container gardening with my tomatoes and my peppers, and I had tomatoes forever, and they were just beautiful and lush and red, and they tasted really good. So I'm going to do more this year, along with the peppers, just because I think I'd like to give myself a little more challenge and see what I can do with other things. I might try a different, have my normals, and then see if there's anything else that I can.
What kind of peppers do you grow?
All of them. I do